school shout about who we are. Are you ready? Yeah. Okay. Tonight and every night we are the Diff. Nice. Yes, we are, and we'll continue to be the Diff no matter what the government says or what the virus brings. We will always be teenagers that are going to change the world. So we have some announcements today before we step into our Testify. If you're on our online audience, feel free to be a part of these. If you're part of our church, if not, just pray for us. Okay, so what do we got, Megan?
Okay, first things first. This one's really exciting, so I need you guys to be like ready to scream. Okay. Buzz is getting baptized on Sunday.
Woo!
So if you guys want to come and cheer on Buzz for taking an incredible step by being baptized, then let your waiter know you need a ride, and you'll get to here on Sunday. If not, be here Sunday 9:30. Celebrate, scream really loud when he gets dunked, and it's going to be a good day.
Awesome. So I said a minute ago you guys are world changers. Here's where you're going to prove it. If some of you know, we go to something called Bridgetown a couple times a year where it's a homeless outreach and we get to be the Diff across the river. Their name is officially Because People Matter. Why? Because people matter. That's correct.
Great job.
And so what they have is they're in the final running for a $40,000 grant. And what they need is for everyone who's ever been a part of Bridgetown to help them by voting for them. So if you just find Because People Matter on Instagram, there's a link in their bio. It's super easy. All you do is click and then vote. And we're going to try to get them extra help because they do work every single Thursday under the
Yeah!
who need it. Yes, and it costs $700 every Thursday to make that happen, to give food and haircuts and a bunch of love to people who need it. So grab your Instagram, get on there, Because People Matter, and vote yes.
Yes, okay. Next thing, sorry, I need a prop. I have this. This is our Living Beyond Normal bracelet. Sadly, the person that is getting the Living Beyond Normal bracelet is watching at home. So give it up for Nina.
Yeah!
Brought her Testify, and it was awesome. It was amazing. So Nina, thank you so much for just continuing to bless us with your presence. And the next time I see you, you're going to get this orange bracelet. Thank you.
Yes, Nina, if you are listening to us now, I want you to just send a little thumbs up in the chat. We cannot wait to give you that bracelet. And guess what next Thursday is?
What?
It's Thanksgiving, which means two things. One, we're not going to be here.
Aww.
And two, it's time for the Speed the Light Turkey Challenge! Yeah! If you don't know what that is, what that means is you decide how much you're going to sponsor yourself. And what that means is you say, like, I'm going to give 10 cents for every pound of turkey. And then you're going to ask your mom or auntie or grandma or whoever is cooking your turkey, hey, mom, auntie, grandma, whoever cooked my turkey, how much did our turkey weigh? And they'll say something like 10 pounds, 15 pounds, 25 pounds. If they say anything bigger than that, I'm so sorry for whatever you just experienced. But you're then going to times that by what you sponsor yourself. So if I say 10 cents a pound, yo, it's going to go Speed the Light. And then your mommy, auntie, grandma, whoever cooks says, it's a 25-pound turkey. How much am I bringing?
$2.50.
Yeah, so I'll bring $2.50 to Speed the Light next time we meet here on December 3rd. So grab one of these on your way out, take a picture, and be a part of our Speed the Light Turkey Challenge. Okay, Megan has two more things for us. Check it out.
Okay, so first one is what holiday comes after Thanksgiving?
Christmas!
I've been very clear to tell you that it comes after Thanksgiving, but I have to promo this now just so you guys can get your juices flowing. But if you guys haven't been on Instagram for longer than 5 seconds, basically, you have seen where people will screenshot in their stories. It'll be day one and it'll be like, your favorite 90s song, okay? We're gonna do hashtag the Diffmas version of that. So it's gonna be the 24 days of Christmas, so starting December 1st, going all the way to Christmas Eve. You'll post something daily on your story. I'll post it all on our Instagram stuff, so if you're not following us on Instagram, follow us, plug. And you'll get all the information there, and we'll just do that daily, and it'll just be like a fun little competition challenge thing. There's no prize, but just do it because it's fun, and I like to see people's favorite Christmas songs, okay?
The prize will be how you feel in your heart.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. And then last but not least, today we're doing another Testify, but it is going to be very different. So, if you don't know, now you know, huh? There were about 22 people that went to youth conference on Saturday. Yeah! Why is there music playing? I'm scared. Oh, watch the video!
And it is awesome. And this year they had to make a couple changes because of COVID. So what happened was, instead of one huge conference, they made 5 different conferences all over the state where 200 people could be at. And so we brought a bunch of people and absolutely had a blast with our 12 hours of awesome. So this is the download of it. It's a testimony night, so it fits because we're in Testify. But the goal of that conference and the heart behind it was they wanted to make sure that teenagers could have their hearts, their homes, and their halls impacted. And what that means is they wanted you to be able to have your heart fixed and healed and inspired. But then they wanted you to go out and actually change your home and your halls, meaning your school, after that. And so as we download tonight and as we go to small groups, think about how you can have your heart and your home and your halls changed for good. So with any download, we always start with some fun games that have to do with that download. And so first of all, we learned a few things from youth conference. The first thing we learned was that Drew rules that Simon Says. I'll just tell you the story, and then, yes, you're going to play Simon Says, and I have a prize for you. So they played Simon Says with 200 people. So it starts with 200 people, and he would trick people, you know how they do on Simon Says, and they were down to like 5 people, and then like 3 people, and then like 2 people, and Drew was still in it, and Diego made top 5, so get up for Diego. Drew is still in it, and the last thing was Simon Says, put your hands on your knees, so everyone did that. And then he's like, oh, great, game of Simon Says. Okay, everyone sit down. And Drew stayed there. And they all sat down. And he said, boom, that guy back there from Coffee Church, you win the whole thing. And so he got a coffee card and awesomeness. But to celebrate that, Chris Murphy is going to come and lead us in a game of Simon Says. And because the winner will not be an airhead, you get to win these if you're the last man standing. All right, give it up for Chris Murphy.
What up? Oh, real quick. Let's be quiet. Simon Says be quiet. Not only did Drew win Simon Says and we represented Coffee Church, we also won the video contest. Yeah, give it up for Megan. Simon says give it up for Megan.
Woo!
All right, Simon says get ready.
Nice.
Simon says be quiet. Simon says pat your head. Simon says pat your elbow. Simon says stop patting your head.
So if you stop patting your head before you said it, you have to sit now.
Should we start over?
No, keep going, keep going.
Okay, Simon says stop what you're doing. All right, Simon says play the air guitar. All right, Simon says play the air piano. Play the air drums.
Oh, anyone that drummed is out! Anyone that drummed is out!
All right. Simon says bend your knees. Simon says stand up. Simon says bend your knees again. All right, stand up.
Oh, if you went up, you're out! We're getting a little more competitive, so if you are
Okay,
delayed...
sit down for a second. Oh, good. Simon says sit down. Simon says stand up. Simon says sit down. Stand up. Oh, you flinched. All right. Simon says close your eyes. Simon says open your eyes. Simon says cover your eyes.
I'm going to start calling people out who aren't doing it fast enough.
All right, Simon says stand up. I didn't say uncover your eyes. I saw you.
If your eyes are uncovered, you're out.
If you uncovered your eyes, you're out. All right, uncover your eyes. Go ahead. All right, Simon says uncover. Oh, you're out. Simon says uncover your eyes. Simon says jump. Simon says jump twice. What is this? Jesse, you're out. You're out.
No, because you didn't tell her to stop jumping.
Oh, that's true. That's okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Simon says flap like a chicken. That's good. I like your chickens. All right, Simon says stop flapping. All right, run in place. Simon says run in place. That's good. Simon says shadow box while running in place. All right, you can stop running. Simon says stop running. I didn't say stop shadow boxing.
Oh, anyone not shadow boxing, have a seat. Everyone else come right up here.
Simon did not say come up here. You are out. Who stayed where they're at?
Diego, top 5 in conference and number 1 to us. Way to not be an airhead. Give it up for Chris and Diego. I can't touch it. All right, next thing we learned at youth conference is that it costs a lot to feed teenagers at Mrs. Beasley's. Now, in case you don't know, there is a diner that we go to on the way back. We get milkshakes and dinner. And so I've got a Miss Beasley's t-shirt here because it's like the place to be. And you are going to play a little game, and the winner is going to get this, okay? So what we're going to play corners, and you're going to go to the corner that you think is the right answer until there's only one person left or 2 people, and you can fight over the t-shirt. So what's going to happen is you're going to guess how much it costs to feed 22 people at Mrs. Beasley's. So if you think it was 100 or under, 200 or under, 300 or under, 400 or under.
Hey, how many people are there?
22 people. Okay, I'm going to rephrase that just for clarity. In the 100s, in the 200s, in the 300s, in the 400s. 100s, 200, 300, 400.
Is that including tip?
Including tip and everything. Yes, including tip and everything. All right. If you are in 100, you lose, but no one's in there. If you're in 200, you lose because no one's in there. And if you are in the 400, you lose. Stay right there because you're going to keep going. Okay. If you think it is 325 or to 300, 350 to 325, 375 to 350, and 400 to 375. Huh? He already showed it? Oh, they revealed it? Okay, then the first person who can come tell me exactly how much it is gets this.
391 cents.
What?
391 and 43 cents. Oh, I got it. 391, 93 cents.
No.
It's 50. 391.
No.
355 cents.
$391.55. Give it up for Nate Montez. All right. You are going to get a chance to win these awesome Northwest Youth Ministry masks later. But before that, we have one more thing we learned at youth conference. Chris mentioned it, but the last thing we learned at youth conference was that we don't have to wait till camp to be camp champs. Am I right? So not only did we win Simon Says, but they had a video contest, and we won it. You will see it later in the night. We can't show it right now, but I have specific intel on how and why we won, and so that person gets a prize, because literally we were going up against, first of all, a church that already knew we were making a video, so they're already ahead, and they did backflips, so we weren't sure how we were going to beat that. But one of our people overheard one of their people ask their youth pastor, how did we not win? And his answer was, well, they used all the props and they had a baby. So, Miss Phoebe, come on up and get your prize, because you brought us home the win. We mustached the baby and flew her in so she gets airplane spoons. All right, be very excited about that video, which you will see later. But until then, here's what's going to happen. We are going to start our download. And how it's going to work is anyone that went to conference is going to be on a stool. And anyone who did not go to conference is not going to be on a stool. So make sure that's happening right now. And then they're just going to go around with a mic. And we're just going to download conference to you. So that just means we're going to testify about what happened so that you know what God can do and wants to do. We're bringing conference to you. That's why it's called a download. So I'm going to just start while we get ready. I just got to say, I'm so impressed with the students that call Coffee Church their home. You guys killed it. Not because you won a bunch of contests, but because your heart and your helpfulness and your character was astounding. And your leaders are so proud to be your leaders because you guys are the real deal. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with a verse that you guys are going to think through on the download, because we're kind of in a crazy time right now, right? Like, things were scary, they're getting scarier. We're like, what is going on? Am I even going to have a school year? What is happening to the world? And so I want you to think through this verse. Romans 15:4. Whatever was written in the past was written for our instruction, so that we could have hope through endurance and through the encouragement of the scriptures. So what that verse is saying is that the Bible is given to you to do some things. And the things that it says it's doing in this verse are to give you hope and instruction and encouragement. And we need those three things a lot right now. And so it's saying if you will open up your Bible, the scriptures. Yes, sometimes it's confusing. Yes, there's stuff in there we don't get or agree with, but it was literally given to you to give you instruction on how to get through this, hope and encouragement for every day of your life. So that's going to be your soap verse for today, because we don't want you just hearing from us. We need you hearing from Jesus, because he's the one that can give you all those things. So we are going to give it up for the student testimonies. Then you will, just like any Testify week, you will get to Q&A, any of us. So Nate has the mic, and he's just going to go around, and students are going to download Youth Conf. Wave him down, he'll grab you.
Whoa. Okay, so on the second session of the day, which is the last, he was talking about how Simon was like a fisherman, and he left everything and left all his belongings and all his I guess, worth at the time to pursue God. And the verse was talking about how you just got to be obedient and God's going to give you what you need. And so one of the, I guess, quotes he said was, Simon got everything he has been working for. And so I took that really deep because I'm like a man of, I'm really goal driven. And so I have a lot of goals in life that I want to achieve. And I just have to be obedient with God and give him it all and give him all that he owes. Not I owe, but he deserves. And he's going to provide and protect. So yeah, that's what I got.
It's good.
Yeah. I'll call people out if people don't volunteer.
If they're in the stool, you're a free game.
So walking to youth conference, like I wasn't really expecting much besides meeting with God. And so like during worship and like sermons, I just really leaned into like what he had for me and just like really just took what the like preacher said to my heart. And like I know that I like after this, I'm just gonna really live out like what God wants me to do.
Yeah. You're up.
Like Delaney said, like when I was on the party bus. And, yeah, party bus. I was expecting just, normal church things, Thursday nights, have fun, worship God. But that night I expected something, I got something different from God. I got visions and, things that might happen in the future. And just leaning in is just key.
Yo. I'm going Isaiah.
So, what I got, man, that light is really bright. But what I got is, like, I always have a tough time, like, I feel like spreading the gospel, because I've never really invited anyone to church, and it seems to me that I just need to lean in more, because I just feel like I'm not propelling the word of God as much as I would like to and as much as I think the scriptures are telling us to. And so I want to lean into that, and I hope others will as well.
Sorry. Okay. What I got out of it was I got to finally like worship and like put my hands out, which felt really nice. Like I can worship here, but like at the conference, I felt like I could worship more, like, cause like I walked in a place where there was no one like really near me, so I could just like give my all to God. So it was an amazing experience in that way, yeah.
Okay, so like walking into it in the car on the way there, we were talking about what we wanted to get from it, and one of the main things I wanted to get from it was being able to grow my relationship with God, because a lot of the time here I feel like God's wanting me to do stuff for others and help others in their relationship, but this time God showed me so many of the things that are holding me back from getting closer to him, and he really just helped me get through it and let those things go, and let different things that have happened in my past and that I'm struggling with just allowed me to let those go so I could get closer and deeper in our relationship with him. With him.
I think we have two people trying to hide, so I'm going to go back over this way.
Walking into conference, I kind of wanted clarity about my future, and I got that, and just knowing that everything's going to work out, especially in this time of COVID and everything. So.
Yeah.
I thought I had a plan for my future. It was my plan, but I came like a few days before youth conference. I was like, wait, something's not right. I don't feel right. And it was my plan for myself because I am filled with anxiety and I just want to be like good with everything. I'm always worrying about the future. And I'm just a feeler. I'm not God doesn't like talk to me like with visions. He just like gives me like a gut feeling. So I felt like something wasn't right about like what I wanted to do. And I think I found what God is pursuing me to do. So.
Are you willing to say
Yeah.
that on the internet?
You want to say it on the internet?
No? Okay. All right. You went, right?
Oh, yeah.
Guessing where you got the cool mask from?
Oh, yeah. I got this cool mask. All right. So what I got from the conference was on the session 2, the pastor, I don't remember his name, he was talking about the Chick-fil-A blocks, and he's like, as a reminder, like, that this is like your gift, kind of as a reminder of the gift that you have that God has given you, to spread the word of him. And that's something that spoke to me, so every time if I'm like, hey, I want to go Chick-fil-A, I'll be like, oh, that gift that I have, I'm going to remember it, like I'll be like, oh shoot, I forgot about that gift. And it's just a really great memory, or like a great thing for me to remember.
You. Over to Kathy.
Okay. Okay. One thing that I took away from the conference was okay. I feel like when I was worshiping that God was like there. I don't know how to really explain it, but he was there. And then like the first service when they were talking about like how you can have half truths and Satan can like make like, I don't know how to say it really, like I don't know how actually.
Oh yeah, part truth.
But then I had like my first vision when I was there too, which was weird but like cool at the same time. And yeah, I guess that's what I took away. That didn't make sense.
You.
Bring that bright light over here. What I got, sort of an add-on to what Isaiah and Justin said, with like spreading it, and then like I invited my brother Liam and like Catherine here, and then she got Lily and that stuff, but like that I would say that's more easy. Like these are my siblings, like but just understanding that, not being like afraid of what you believe in, but like embrace it and stuff, and showing it,
Yeah, awesome.
Going into youth conference, I didn't really know what to expect because like I haven't been like that religious my whole life, but I feel like now I'm like embracing it a bit more. But when I went there, like I really felt something like I've never felt before, especially when we were worshiping. I really felt God's presence in the room, and when I did that, I really want to more so lean into him.
Awesome. Birthday boy.
I think for me, when I went to youth conference, I was like, I've like gone to these a lot, and I was just I wasn't really expecting anything mainly. I was just going to just get more God really, and I feel like he reinforced more of an idea that, of my calling, and which is to be a pastor, and also with like another thing that he added on to that was the pastor was talking about the story of how the little kid gave the bread and the fish to the disciples, and the disciples were like, oh, this is all we have. And then he gave it to Jesus, and Jesus, gave it to the 5,000 to feed 5,000. And something he said was possession impacts potential. And like with that, certain things in my life I have to give to Jesus so he can like create abundance or create improve it, so I can trust him with that. So certain things in my life.
Am I missing anybody? All right.
But we got leaders.
What leaders went? Oh, okay, yeah. Meet me halfway, like the. I was just say like Black Eyed Peas song, but I don't think anyone here knows what that is.
Okay. Okay, so for me going to youth conference, it was an honor going as a leader. I haven't been since I was like a sophomore in high school, which wasn't that long ago. I'm not that old. But I don't know, I just got a very sense of feeling of joy and peace with being just with our church and our students. They dig in a way that other students just didn't, or didn't show it out loud. And I don't know, they showed up in such a way that it not only like inspired our youth staff, but it inspired literally every other church there. So they were having their own little mosh pit in the pews, and it was incredible to see just how they go forward instead of having this be a hindrance on them and going backwards. So, yeah.
You. What other leaders are there? I don't know.
The Murphys, if they're cool.
The Murphinators? Oh, we got to hear from Phoebe at one point.
I mean, it's always super cool to see young people on fire for God. And it was fun. Like, it was just a good time, you know? But besides all the fun, there was something, I forget his name, Pastor John?
Josh Jameson.
What's Josh, right?
Shout out to Josh Jameson.
Jameson, yeah. He said something about, like, someone had mentioned it, that Satan loves the game of half-truths. You know, he doesn't always lie to us. He just tells us half-truths sometimes. And there was something else he said. It was like, there's so much of our life we spend telling ourselves not to do something or not to pursue something because we're too young. And it goes, we're too young, you're too young, you're too young, you're too young. And then all of a sudden, there's this weird switch. You don't know when it happens, but now you're too old, too old, too old, too old, too old, too old. And that's something I deal with a lot. Like, oh man, I was too young, now I feel too old. I just turned 32, I'm too old to do things now. But that's not true. That's not true. You're not too young, you're not too old. And I really needed to hear that.
You. Yeah. Are you available? No?
I'm available. Well, I'm married, but... Sorry. So the first, 5 minutes when we were there, kind of what my husband said, the game of, half-truths that Satan tells us. But, playing Simon Says, really hit me when he was first saying Simon. And he's like, okay, well, now we're going to say Josh Says, or whatever name he used. And then you had to have a keen ear to keep out for Josh or Simon, because if Simon said it, then you're out, because we're now on the Josh Says, or whatever name he used. And it's just really powerful knowing that that Satan does tell half-truths, and it really opened my eyes that I need to have a keen ear for what God says and what Satan says.
You. Phoebe, any comment? She's too busy for us right now. Okay.
All right, so a couple people have referenced it, but I'm telling you, I've been going to youth conference since 1994, and this one sentence rocked me so hard. And I'm going to say the sentence he said. I'm going to flesh it out a little bit because it clearly impacted a lot of us. But he said, Satan's power isn't in his lies, it's in his half-truths. Satan's power is not in his lies, but his half-truths. Now, this is a man or a being that's literally named the liar and the accuser, and he will make stuff up about you. But there's more power in his half-truths, because that's what gets us, right? You did this, so you're not qualified. Remember how you screwed up that time? So you can't do that. Hey, you know the family you come from? Yeah, look at that. That's why you shouldn't be on the mic. And those are half-truths. And so I want to encourage you to just give your butt to Satan, and I literally mean both your butts, literally your butt, but also your butt. Yeah, I came from that family, but I'm called to greatness. Yeah, I screwed up royally that night, but God has something for me. Yes, my dad left me, but I have a Father in heaven. And so just keep giving your enemy that butt. I want you to think about that in worship time, because that's when he can really bring it home and show you his forgiveness and show you his calling and show you his parenthood and show you that he is the provider and the healer and the comforter, the one that brings peace. So bring that not only to worship tonight, but out of this building into your world. When he gives you a half-truth, you tell him, here's what that actually means for my life. So what we're going to do now is we're going to enter in a second into a time of Q&A. You can ask a certain person that went, or just to the group, hey, here's a question for you. But first, I want to give these away. These are 3 extra ones that our DYD said I could have because he likes me. And I'm going to open it up for either anyone who didn't go to youth conference, but wants to share something God did while we were there, or even tonight, or someone who went to youth conference and God's been working on them since we got back about something. So just wave Nate down if you have something to share, and you will get some merch from youth conference. So what's God doing in your life since we left on Saturday? You're a world changer, so be bold.
I already have the mask, so I don't need the mask. I just wanted to share with what God's been doing in my life. I really feel like my heart has been changed, and that it's just way more focused onto God. And a lot of the things like social media and different things that I've been on, I've like, why do I do this? Like, what's the point of this? Like, how is this helping God? Like, and I really realized that a lot of the worldly things I used to give so much effort and time and focus on, that they just don't matter anymore in comparison to God. So he really, just like opened my eyes. So.
All right, Megan's gonna come around. You can pick your color of mask, because even though you don't need one, that was awesome. So you're getting one. All right, anyone else want to share what God's been doing since we got back, or while we were gone? You don't. The whole point is that God doesn't live at youth conference. That's why there's a download.
Diego.
Before I went there, I had different perspective at church and like the people around me. After we got back from the youth conference, I had a whole different perspective of how everything works. And I just know that if I keep leaning in, it's going to be changing for the better.
So good. All right, she has a mask for you. All right, anyone else? One more person? Oh, she's over there.
So like I said, I was really worried about my future, but while I was there, I just felt like this overwhelming peace, and that like everything's gonna be all right, no matter how much like I worried, that God's never gonna let me let me down.
That's awesome. Remember, he's the Prince of Peace, so keep leaning into that. You don't just have to have that once a year. Okay, so we had a couple people at conference that couldn't make it tonight. One of them did not want to miss the download, so she sent in a video. So we are going to play her download right now, and then it'll be your chance to ask questions. So go ahead and let's hear from Raina.
Hey guys, it's Raina. Sorry I couldn't be there today, but I still wanted to share my part on what I got from the youth conference. What I got from the youth conference is to not hide your Christianity. You don't know who that might help with what they're going through, or who that might impact. And also, you have to realize that like, if you think that your friends won't like accept that and won't want to be friends with you, I don't think you should be friends with them anymore. I just don't think so. And you have a ton of other people at church who will gladly be friends with you. And also, something else that I got was to realize that if you have something so small and you don't think God can do anything with it, just to give it to him. Because if you give him that one little thing in your mind, he will make it huge. Like something that you never dreamed he will ever do. And so I think that you should just give it to him. And when you do, you'll realize how great he really is and how much he can do with that. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, Raina! Raina, if you are watching online, they are cheering like crazy for you because we think you're pretty awesome. Thank you for being part of our download, even when you couldn't be a part of our download. So you guys are going to now open the floor for any questions that you have for anyone that went to conference, or a specific person that went to conference, or anything that you're wondering, like, hey, how did you handle that after? What did you do about that knowledge or whatever? So wave Nate down again. He's got the mic, and Megan has the mic. What questions do you have for youth conference?
for individuals, I guess. This is like for Drew more so, I guess. I don't know, because he's a pretty strong leader here, if you didn't notice. But just like it seems like a whole lot of us have the same sort of theme in talking about like showing our religion, who we are, and that we come here every Thursday, possibly Sunday, and all those things. So you seem pretty strong in what you believe and stuff. So how do you deal with maybe like at school, you know, the obstacles of people and like going beyond that and showing it?
For sure, you know, I don't want to say I'm perfect because I struggle with that. Obviously, I think we all do at one point, and we might still be struggling with that. But I remember I actually talked to my mom about this yesterday. It's really weird that you asked that. And I was like, our main goal is to have an image of what God is, and so we might have the ability to like argue and be proven by the Bible that we're right, but we got to have that mindset. We're going to be an image of God's love. And so every action we do, we got to have that mindset of what are people going to think of this, and is that going to bring them closer to God or away from God? And so I've even thought that where I can argue with people, you know, that's fun. People love arguing. But I'm going to just keep my mouth shut because what they see from that is going to be either negative or positive. And I think I need to stay back and just be that loving and supporting person. And so I think if you just, another way I do is I want people to question like why I have a certain life that I have, because like they're gonna like see, oh, he has a great like work ethic, job, marriage. Why does he have that? I want to like, okay, he's a Christian. Is that the reason? And I want them to question that and kind of think about that. And so I've always had that mindset of wanting them to almost question my faith and question why I live the way I live. So yeah.
All right, any other questions for any youth conference? In general or in just a certain person? I've got one for anyone that wants to answer this. A lot of you use the phrase lean in. I just want to lean in, I just want to lean in, I want to lean in. What does that mean to you? Like behavioral wise, like how does that change your week?
He was like, I got you. When I think like when people say lean in, it's like spend more time and get like more so into God or Jesus and really like embrace who they are and what they did for us to make us free.
Nice. Anyone else want to answer that? How are you leaning in?
Oh boy, I don't know which hand I saw first.
When I think of that, I think that just putting 100% of what you're doing into God. I know that schoolwork can't really be like for God or whatever, but just having a mindset that like God is the main focus in your life and that you want to have like such a good relationship with him that you're never going to stop thinking about him. And just like, yeah, like what he said, just spending more time in the word, journaling, praying, worshiping. Yeah.
It's good.
Very similar to what Lily said, like just spending time with him, like whether it's like praying, like worshiping, listening to worship music, reading your Bible, like anything, just like as long as you're like talking to him and spending time with him, like that's how you lean in.
Sorry, I also had another comment, just to like have your also community be surrounded by people that believe the same thing and that want to help you with your relationship with God, and just having those people around and calling them, asking them questions, just having them.
I think one thing with leaning in is that you have to have like you have to think that you can always improve your relationship with God. Like if you're reading your Bible every day, you're praying every day, you're soaping every day, you're doing everything every day with God, you're spending like more than 1 hour with God every day, there's still more you can do with God. There's still more you can improve, and there's more you can get to, and there's more that you can grow your relationship. It's ever expanding. It's like it's infinite because it's God. So.
Back and forth.
Also, with leaning in, you have to have the integrity to keep doing what you say you're gonna do. I've been trying to work on
like reading the Bible every day, praying every night before I go to bed, stuff like that. But there's things that that keep you sidetracked from that. And I just want to just let you know that it's possible, you know.
Yeah, there you go. All right behind you, Megan.
Speaking on like being focused, how do you guys like stay focused on God when you have so much stuff like going on in your life, like school and stuff?
That's an awesome question because you guys just told them how you're leaning in, but how do you balance that with all the stuff in your life?
I feel like by making a routine and like always put learning and talking and reading about Jesus above all other things, because it's the most important thing that you can do. And so just make it a routine and always put it above other things. So like if you...
Back to the wisdom.
Wait, let her go.
Do you want?
She can share this time.
Personally, for me, like, it takes a lot of motivation. Like, I'll be on my phone. I'm like, hey, it's time to read my Bible. And I'm like, man, I really just want to stay on my phone watching TikTok or something. So, like, I have to literally, like, force myself to put down my phone and just be like, if I just start getting in the Word, I can do it for, like, 30 minutes without, like, realizing. So, like, you just have to start it, and then it will make, like, you'll build this habit, and it'll be so much easier.
Yeah, I agree with what they say in just making a habit and routine, but also that if you don't do it, or if you, if for some reason you fail or you just are too tired or whatever, just to always have the mindset that you can start again. That not because you just failed once, that forever now you can't read your Bible. Just getting in that mindset of, okay, maybe I didn't do it yesterday, but today I'm gonna do it, and just trying to constantly improve, because when you keep doing it and keep going, and then even when you fail, you can still do it. Wait. Whoops. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, I would think to do like set an alarm clock every single, like at 9 o'clock, whatever you prefer, like in the morning or at night, because it'll ring and then it'll kind of be annoying for me personally. And then I was like, you know what, I probably should. I've done all my schoolwork. I usually do it like around like 9 or 10 before I go to bed. And I don't know, personally, that helps me because that's like the last thing to do, and then I finish my day.
Did you have one? I don't know if you guys think or see this throughout your day, but it sort of feels like deja vu, like every single day. Like I keep doing the same thing. It's school, lunch, and homework, and then go to bed. But the 3 meals, you know. But you just have to put God in that deja vu, you know? Just keep reading the Bible and praying and listening to worship music. It can do a lot of things in your head just to make it grow and do better things.
Good. All right, we're going to close it out with the birthday boy and the future pastor, Mr. Gabe.
What I would have to say is like with keeping like a routine with God, or keeping a focus on God with your day, is, for me especially, I've noticed that your sleep schedule can affect that greatly. Like it's because like I usually like reading my Bible in the morning, but when I don't get like a good sleep, then I wake up later, and then I'm like, oh, I have to do my homework right now, I have to get it done. Then I don't get to reading my Bible. That affects me reading my Bible, as well as like if you're listening to music, or if you're like maybe if you're gonna go work out or something, or whenever you have the chance to listen to music, sometimes just substitute it in for worship music. That's also another thing you can do.
Awesome. I think Chris has one more thing.
Oh, I'm not going to touch it. Can you just lift it up higher? Your arms are so... Oh, my goodness. All right, so that was a great question, Mr. Perez. And Isaiah had such a great hack, like literally just make it a routine. If you make it a priority and a routine, it's really hard to fail. But there's 3 things I think you should do. I'm an old person, so listen to me. You got to have boundaries. Create boundaries in your life. It's really important. Number 2, get rid of the idea of perfection.
That's good.
So like, you ever who has the YouVersion app, right? It'll tell you how many days in a row you read your Bible. And it's cool to see that streak, but then what happens when you break that streak? It's so hard to continue the next day. Or like, if you're on a diet, I'm trying to diet. It's like, I haven't had sugar in 5 days. On the 6th day, I had sugar. Man, guess what? I'm probably gonna have sugar on that 7th day too, because I'm no longer perfect. Well, it doesn't matter. Get rid of the idea of perfection. And then the other thing, get rid of the phrase, might as well. All right? I smoked a cigarette, I might as well take a drink. My girlfriend and I are making out, we might as well do other things. I was a jerk to my mom today. I might as well be in a bad mood the rest of the day. Nothing good followed the phrase, might as well. That's all.
No, that's not all. You're going to preach that on this stage when we come back. All right, so give it up for all our speakers and question askers. We are going to now officially say goodbye to our online audience. Everyone say goodbye. What you guys are going to do is you are going to hop on the worship set where you can have your own worship at home, but then also you can FaceTime in to your small group, which we will be going to in about 5 minutes. So you can hop on there and still be a part of the Diff when you can't be a part of the Diff. We're so glad you came here. Goodbye, online audience. We will see you next Thursday. No, we won't, because it's Thanksgiving. So have a great Thanksgiving. We'll see you on December 3rd, where Delaney will have her Testify. So one more time, goodbye, online audience. Bye, guys. All right, so before we go to small group, we have something to show you, because we do have an award.